How's it going, guys? Today I wanted to do a video just going over the basics of reloading pistol cartridges, and this is going to be a bare bones basic, you know, everything that you need to get started, none of the fancy stuff. So just want to go over here everything that you need to do to start reloading. You need some cases. In my case, I've got some that I've shot before. Once fired cases. You see there, already been shot once, been tumbled and cleaned. They're all nice and shiny, so they're ready to be reloaded. You're gonna need your projectile. In my case, I'm gonna use some Hornady XTP, the 44 Magnum, 240 grain bullet is what we're gonna be using. You'll need a set of dies. I'm gonna use the RCBS 3-die set. And when you buy your dies, the RCBS tells you what shell plate holder to also purchase. So you also need to get your shell plate holder, whichever one it is that you need. Primers, of course, large pistol for the 44 Magnum, and then whatever powder you decide to use. I'm going to use H110 and go from there. So, alright, the first step in reloading is sizing and depriming. And to get your press set up, you need to take your shell plate holder, and on the RCBS rock chucker press, you just need to slide it in, raise it up, slide in the front, and push back, and you'll hear it snap into place. And that's all you do to get the shell plate in there. The first die that you'll need to use will be your sizing and depriming die. And as you can see here, you got the pin on it that'll knock your spent primer out the bottom of the shell as you size and deprime it. So you just take it and start screwing it down into the press. You want to raise the ram all the way up and screw it down until it touches the shell plate. When you feel it touch the shell plate, back it off about 1/4 of a turn and then tighten down your lock ring. Once you get it to there, all you need to do, and because these are carbide dies, you don't really need to lube it, especially with straight walled pistol cartridges. Just throw it in there, raise it up, and that's all there is to sizing and depriming it. And just take however many you're going to load for the day, or whatever you're planning on doing, and just run them all through there. And that's all there is to sizing and depriming. Okay, next you'll need to use the expander die to expand the case mouth to be ready to accept the bullet when you're seating it. So just set it on there, screw it down in there, and again raise up the ram, screw it all the way down until it touches the shell plate holder. When it touches the shell plate holder, back it off about 1/4 of a turn and set your locking ring. With the locking ring set, the next thing that you'll need to do is adjust the expander for expanding the case. And if I can get it to focus, you can see how as this goes down inside the case, right there where it's curved, if you can see it well enough, is what will flare that case mouth open so that it's able to accept the bullet. As it stands right now, if I can get one out, they don't go together too easily, and you'll end up shaving a lot of that copper off if it's seated just a little bit sideways or anything when you try to seat that bullet. So the easiest way to do it is put it in there, raise it up, screw this down till you feel resistance, lower the ram and then screw it down in there a little ways. Raise it up, and you can see there how it's flared that case mouth. Now that might be a little bit excessive flaring. The more you flare it, the more it works the case, because you have to squeeze it back down when you crimp it. The more it'll work that brass and the less life you'll have in that brass. So I might just screw this back out just a little bit and try another one. And you just want enough to where it's real easy. If I can get it to focus, real easy to get that bullet started in there. And that's probably just about right there. So what I'll do is I'll stick it back in there, raise it up, and screw down the lock ring so that my settings don't move. And then just run through the other pieces of brass. And there you have it. That's all there is to flaring the case mouth. Alright, so we got the cases sized and deprimed. We flared the case mouths. Now we need to prime them so that we can put our powder in there and finish up. I like to use the hand primer. This is just the priming tool that came with the starter kit from RCBS with my rock checker press. I like it. It works real well. So here we go. It's real easy, it's real simple, and it's not much to it. Just put your case on there, squeeze. Now you got a new primer ready to go. And as usual, just run through all your cases. And one thing to note that's good to do is to get into some sort of system. As you can see here, I got my loading block. I have my cases up here that are unprimed, and then I have my cases down here that are primed. This way I know which are which, and I'm not fumbling around, or one doesn't get by me that doesn't have a primer in it, because that's where you start to run in trouble, is when you don't know what you've done. So again, just work whatever system works for you. Like I said, just grabbing them up here at the top of the shell, or the top of the loading tray, priming it, put it down at the bottom. I know these have primers in it and this one doesn't. So just work out whatever kind of system works well for you. Now we got them primed. Now they're ready for powder.